What is up, YouTube? Getting a little ambitious on this channel. Had one successful pine cone and decided, you know what, we need to step this up. So went out to the local Hobby Lobby, picked up some bigger pine cones because not a lot of pine trees here in West Texas. Got some glitter, pine cone, this bowl that I've been using forever, and a leftover tannin, and decided, you know what, we can make something cooler. So while I was at the Home Depot, picked up some Gorilla Glue adhesive spray. Here I am putting a copious amount of this glue on this pine cone because I literally had no idea how much glitter I was going to put on there or how much glue was required to even do this project. So basically all essentially we're doing is doing the pine cone, but we're stepping it up in terms of size, color, and complexity of the project, because obviously not all of these projects go really well, as you'll see a little bit later. So got the pine cone covered in all that glitter, put it in this nice little bowl, and now we're going to pour just some clear East Coast epoxy all over it and put it in the pressure pot and see what we kind of get out of it. So I didn't think all that glitter was actually going to adhere, so I was really happy when we take it out of the pressure pot here in just a bit. So you see all those cool bubbles, and we can't waste any of this epoxy. We've got to make sure we get it all because it's not cheap, even though it's cheaper than Total Boat. By the way, I still love Total Boat. I'm just using some cheaper product right now until the channel blows up. So here we are, got it out of the pressure pot, and immediately I noticed a problem right here. See that giant crack in it? Okay, turn it over. Okay, there it is. Nope. Oh, there it is. Giant crack. Had no idea how the hell that happened. It's just like this splathed open. I was like, maybe that was just a bad epoxy pour. Maybe there was some moisture left in the pine cone. I don't know. But I'm like, okay, screw it. We're still going to make this happen, Captain. So got a piece of pine board for the pine cone attached so we could put the faceplate on there. Got everything nice and attached. And then immediately we start dancing on the lathe. And I'm just like, you know what? Actually, when this kind of happened, I didn't even notice that it was dancing, to be honest with you, because then it stopped. So maybe that's why I didn't notice it initially. So here we are, just getting everything in our nice cylinder shape. And the plan here was to build a tannin on the very bottom end of it and then just saw off the remaining tannin once I got everything shaped the way I wanted to. But I was kind of going through some stuff, and I said this in a previous project. When you're aggravated, I know as therapeutic as woodworking or whatever your hobby is, if you're around power tools and shit like that, you probably should, I don't know, take a minute, because I was super aggravated this day when I was actually building this project, and then one thing went wrong, and then I started stabbing the damn tannin, and then it just kind of exploded on me. So I had to pay the price for that, and then we had to figure out something else. So instead of doing a tannin, I just decided to do a mortise instead. And I was kind of glad that I did, because it actually went a lot smoother with the mortise. Not that I think we would have had a problem with the tannin, but overall, I think, you know, sometimes you make mistakes and you figure them out. But here we are, built the tannin. Was getting a lot of problems once we started getting to the actual pine cone itself. Had a lot of chatter, as you see there, but I was like, okay, tannin's good enough, it's built, or the mortise is built, we can go ahead and just start, you know, bottoming out that edge. And this part went pretty smooth. I was really expecting more shattering because of that giant crack that was initially on the blank itself, but not too bad here on the bottom, just getting that nice smooth round bottom that I want on it. And then actually we'll come back and change that a little bit later in the project. So got it reversed on the chuck, and now we're just basically getting away material. And I actually did a fairly good job of getting all of this material off, because when you look at the actual blank from a front portion view, you can't tell how much epoxy is in there. Like, you think it's relatively close to the edge, but when you do like a downward sky view, you can see that there was a lot of material that needed to come off. But this was a fun project to do because you got all these cool shavings off of it, and I'm literally, by the end of this, covered in all of this, all these shavings that we get off. So at this point, I'm just, you know, getting everything down nice and neat. I really don't like this pine board at the top of it, but it actually is a nice accent piece because I didn't have enough epoxy, and the epoxy that I did use barely covered the top of that pine cone. So the next time I do a project like this, I'll have to remember to use a lot more epoxy. But we try to take as much of that pine board off of it as possible. And I didn't want it to look as gunky as the Master Chief. If you went back and watched that Master Chief video that I did, it looked oblong, and I didn't want that for this particular build. So here we are, just being very careful. You can see that cool, like you can see the shavings actually come off of it, and I'm getting that cool like dome cone piece on top of the paperweight. Essentially that's what this is. It's just a pine cone paperweight, and we'll do more of these in the future, but I just wanted to kind of do this one as an experiment. By this time right here, everything else is going pretty smooth. Now I'm just really trying to get that nice round top that I'm going for. So once we did that, start hitting it more with the round carbide tool, and I've got a death grip on that carbide tool, because usually when I hit the carbide tool for like the overall body of the piece, that's usually when I get a lot of chatter. So, but if you hit it with the round carbide tool, you get a lot smoother finish. So we ended up doing that, got that smooth finish, and now I'm basically trying to get this lip on the bottom of this tannin or mortise taken care of without getting any chatter. And I'm basically taking surgical precision up until this point, trying to get it all taken care of. And we got that all nice and neat taken care of. Everything's nice and even. It's got that nice dome shape. So then we just went back, hit it with that 320, went all the way up to the micro mesh, and you can kind of see already how this pine cone is turning out, which looks really, really good. So once we got all that done and finished, I actually burnt the top of that pine board just to give it like some further, I don't know, decorative look, and nearly burnt the entire project to the ground. So don't do that. And I didn't film it. All the fun stuff I never filmed for some reason. So here it is, pine cone, nice and built. Hope you guys like the project. You can see this giant crack in it, and we're going to get a lot better at doing these particular projects. But overall, proof of concept was there. You can see that big, nasty crack. Actually, you can barely see the pine cone as I'm looking through this, but we'll get better with the camera work too. So hope you guys enjoyed the project, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Well, there you have it. Pine cone with a giant motherfucking crack in it. Don't know what that was all about. I think the resin setup all fucked up, and I mean, it looks cool. Proof of concept was there. Not bad. Had a shit ton of problems with the bottom because yours truly got super aggravated with it and was like, fuck it. And then build a mortise instead of a tannin. But concept is there. I think every time we do a project, we just kind of get better at it, and then we're just perfecting our technique. But I mean, and then I burnt the top of it and then almost ruined it. I didn't film that catastrophe, but there you go. Nice little paperweight, cool little colorful pine cone. We're gonna do more. We're gonna get better. Still injured, by the way. So hope you guys like the project. Don't forget to subscribe. And here's the tip, and I probably said this in the commentary. When you are aggravated, don't do woodworking. Don't get around power tools, because you're going to fuck up and hurt yourself. So anyway, just take that as you will, and I'll see you guys in the next project. All right, bye.